Hey guys, it's Justin again with another review. This is going to be a review for the Jesus. The Figurized Standard Frieza from Bandai. This is, again, a snap-together model kit, just like the Goku one was if you watched the unboxing of the previous part, where I assembled the entire thing. This is, I assembled Goku, sorry about that. This is the same thing as that, but Frieza. So if you like Dragon Ball Z, this is probably something you're going to be interested in. Oh God. So personally, I actually enjoyed the Frieza build more than the Goku build. I don't really like Frieza more than Goku, but I just think the build was more interesting, personally. Um, his colors are all pretty spot on. Like looking at him straight away, you wouldn't really realize any little things that are missing. So we'll jump straight into the sticker sheet. Literally, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stickers. These are for his ears. These are for his toenails, and this is for his mouth on his alternate head. That's it. Um, so straight out of the box, he looks fantastic. Insane color separation. He's got his mouth is a different color. The whites of his eyes and the red of his eyes, totally different. All of his little purple things all over him are not stickers, they are actual plastic. Which, I mean, that's not like a big feat or anything, considering how large they are. It would have been kind of dumb to make them stickers, but they did a really good job. His color is like a light purple. You can't really tell it on camera, or at least from what I'm seeing on my screen, but as far as like looking at him in person, he actually almost looks like in between like any of the crevices where parts meet. It's like it looks almost like it's shaded a little bit. It's really strange, but I think they did a really good job like color matching him, and I think that he looks the best so far out of what I've built out of box. So we'll jump straight into articulation. We'll talk about what he can do, what he can't do, things like that. So his head is on a ball joint. It's a double ball joint. There's one at the bottom of the neck, one at the top. You can spin his head full 360. He gets up and down, not a whole ton, a little bit tip. You can wobble him around. You can move his neck back and forth. You can spin his neck a little bit if you take his head off. Full 360 on that as well, but I don't know why you'd want to. Just to kind of give you a little bit more range on his head. That's why that does that. His arms can do a full 360 at the shoulder. They go out this far, down all the way. You've got a secondary joint inside here, so you can bend his arm all the way across his chest. He can't touch his other shoulder, but he gets really close. You get a full 360 under the shoulder, and Frieza actually has a double jointed elbow, but he doesn't quite get 180. You get a really nice range though. Now I think Frieza has way better wrist joints than Goku does. It hides his arms a little better, but Frieza doesn't have to do any sort of like rearing back or like extreme wrist bends for his effect parts. So I think that's why he looks the way his arms are, the way they are. You get a joint at the waist. It's a ball joint in there, so you can kind of wiggle him wherever you want. And then there's one at his actual waist. The legs will go up this far, back this far, out. You can do a full split if you can get his tail out of the way. Oops. You gotta watch his legs. The way they're assembled is really strange, but you get a full split. You can do that whole deal. You don't get a full 360 at the hip, but if you kind of maneuver him around a little bit, you could probably manage it. I'm not going to try it. Just don't feel like messing with it. Double jointed knees, although the top joint is a little stubborn and doesn't really like to move a whole bunch. You don't get a 180 again out of this. Ankles are on a ball joint, a double ball joint. So you can kind of twist him up and spin him all the way around, and if you want to spin him down at the bottom, you can do that. And then the ankles will move all the way out, and a good ways up as well. And no articulation on the toes. His tail is on a weird kind of, it's not a ball joint, but it's like a peg, and then like it locks in, and then there's a movement point here, which can spin most of the way around. I think it does a 360. Let me move his legs forward so they don't get in the way. Yeah, you get a full 360 out of that, and then a full 360 down here at the base of the tail, or the tip of the tail. So his tail is very articulate. Ooh, you can see his waist doesn't like to stay on super good if you're a little heavy-handed, like I'm being. I've never had that problem up until this point, which seems to be a thing with my reviews, but whatever. So he stands pretty well on his own. You can use his tail to kind of balance him out. Now, in terms of effect parts, you get a death ball, which is just two pieces of plastic sandwiched together. You can kind of highlight that with some whites and some pink, and I think that would look really cool. And you get a death beam, which is just one piece, and that just literally plugs onto his finger. And they give you a stand as well, just like with Goku. You can plug this into the stand. Where's that clear? Or the hole? There's like a small gap or something like that. Or no, never mind. There's a holder that they give you on the end of the stand, but you don't need it. His joints are actually tight enough that he can hold his hand straight out and hold the death beam. It's really not that heavy of an effect part, so you don't have to worry about needing a stand to maintain it. It just works. Now the death ball is a little different. When I first got this, I thought that the death ball sat on his finger, and I thought that it was really strange that everything else fit nice and snug except for that. And turns out the case is there's this guy. So you plug this into his wrist, and then you plug the death ball into that, and now he has the death ball like floating over his hand, and it looks really cool. Really, really, really clever effect part. Not super in the way. With a little bit of Photoshop, you can actually just take that whole thing out, and you wouldn't even know it was there. So in terms of other accessories you get, there's two closed fists. So here's the other closed fist. You get the death ball or the death beam finger, whichever one you want. You can use it for both. And then you get two open hands, completely open, expressive hands, which are really nice. I don't remember what scene this was, but it was shortly after Frieza had done his final transformation. He did like a thing where he stood up and just kind of stuck his hands straight out, and he was like standing on a rock or something like that. And you can recreate that pose, and it looks really cool, just like that. Again, the other mouth, this is the one where I recommend using the sticker because his teeth are purple. But the head looks really nice. It's very menacing, very evil looking. It's very easy to swap. You just pop his head off and put the new one on, and you're good to go. So again, just like with Goku, I highly recommend this figure. It's really nice, especially if you like Dragon Ball Z or if you want something new. Really cool line. So go check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.